day 6 of my water fast, 20-day water fast. It was another little adventure today. Well, maybe I should just hit the numbers real quick. pH still just staying rock steady at 5.75. Using the pH test strips, when using the bathroom. Just peeing on them is what I'm saying. My weight dropped down a little more. I'm definitely 198 pounds today. So that's I'm really excited to see that progress happening. So it was 199 yesterday. So now it's just a steady. So, even if it was just a steady 1 pound a day kind of thing for a while, that'd be fantastic. Let's see. Number of times. I think I went, 6 or 7 times today. I went to the bathroom. So that seems to be kind of ratcheting up, but also my consumption of water today kind of spiked up a little bit. I definitely felt the need to drink a little bit more water today. So I drank 3.5 liters today. Water has been pretty consistent, 9.5 pH for the water. Most of the water I've been drank today. There's a couple of times I had to take a little sip of water that wasn't that, because I had just run out, because I was out and about quite a bit today. The rest of the numbers: TDS 129, EC 258. I got up at 7:30 this morning. Went to bed about midnight last night, so I think that was good, 7.5 hours or so. I did meditate. I did put on my meditation at midnight, and so I fell asleep with the headphones on meditating. So maybe that hour, 12, midnight to 1 a.m. The meditation, can be a little stressing on the brain. So maybe my true sleep was probably not until 1 a.m. until 7:30. Definitely woke up with, a fair amount of pain today. And I got up to get ready for going to my follow-up exam, back to the same hospital, so they can do follow-up x-rays. So I went there, and I took my blood pressure, which it was 127/80. So that's pretty much perfect. 120/80 is basically perfect. So that's good. I think my oxygen said it was 96, but I think it got taken off a couple of times, so maybe it technically used to be higher. I don't know. I'm definitely noticing on my own, if I don't consciously think about it, I don't seem to breathe as deeply on normal breathing right now. So, so I definitely need to practice doing some longer, deeper breaths more, regularly each, throughout the day. So that's something, made a mental note on, to try to implement more for tomorrow. What else? When I went into the follow-up today, definitely the pain kind of started peaking in this area. Also started noticing more big bruising that I didn't see before on my left thigh, from the fall. So some of that bruising, I guess there was a delayed reaction. So that's coming out. What else? So early today, definitely, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, the pain was at a 4, which, my level 10 was high-speed car accident, broken ribs, lacerated spleen, internal bleeding, bunch of stuff like that. massive trauma to the body. So that's my level 10, just for reference. So I was saying the pain level, I was like, maybe a 4, you know. So maybe my 4 is someone else's 7 or 8. I don't know. Yeah, so it was definitely you know, uncomfortable for sure. And they just took, you know, they took a couple of x-rays. The bones look pretty well set together. And then, fortunately, they didn't have a blood test. I thought they drew my blood, but then apparently they didn't run the test. So I was hoping I was going to pick up some blood test results from there, but unfortunately it didn't happen. So I was a little disappointed about that. So I don't quite have everything, but keep in mind, I'm not working as much right now, so I'm trying not to spend a lot in, you know, doing extra lab tests. Definitely can cost a lot, you know, hundreds of dollars and stuff. So, yeah, so that, and then, let's see what else. Then, yeah, so I went out and I basically had a whole bunch of different errands to do, you know, went to my doctor's appointment, went and picked up some stuff, you know, for my mom that I needed to pick up some medical supplies for her, you know, for some lab tests that she's going to need to do later. You know, went to FedEx, you know, to do some shipping stuff. So I went around and did quite a few things today, and even managed to change out a ceiling light. It was definitely awkward and at times uncomfortable, and I had to use my head part of the time as in place of my left hand, you know, to actually like put my head up against the light while I put the screw in, because I couldn't actually reach up with my left arm. So that was kind of funny. But I was like, I'm getting this damn light installed. I don't care, because I need to make some money today. So, and then went to go visit with my nephew, and he was taken off, and my family and stuff. And then, yeah, you know, okay, this is a good detail to bring up. So this was the first time that I actually just was open about being on this extended fast and going to be doing it for 20 days. I had my brother, my mom, and I know I said in the previous video, I just can't tell them, but I guess, you know, sometimes things change and you just like, you know what, to hell with it. And I guess maybe I slept on that concept. And now today I was like, you know, because I couldn't hide it, because it was like the last night going out to dinner. I can't pretend, you know, it's not like they're not going to notice that I didn't order anything to eat or drink, and that I'm using my own bottle of water, you know. So, but at the same time, it was like my nephew's leaving. He's going to be gone for a year, and this was like the last time we're all going to get together. I can't just flake on him or something. So I just was like, well, I guess tonight's the night. It's going to reveal what my true plan is here and what I'm actually up to. So, you know, and it wasn't too bad. I mean, so maybe, you know, maybe in the previous video, it was like, I was thinking freaking out. And it turned out the freak out wasn't as bad, you know. It was like annoyance, a little annoyance, concern, you know, a little bit of freaked out. But I think because it wasn't the only thing being discussed in that environment, that then it kind of didn't get all the attention, which is great, because, you know, you don't want to have all the attention on it. And I think, you know, maybe that's a good way to do it, you know, to just be like, instead of waiting until there's nothing going on and you're just there with them, and then you say, oh, by the way, I'm doing this, maybe that's the time that maybe they'll be, be more not understanding. But when you're like in a setting where there's a lot of people, a lot of different topics being discussed, and now your your extended water fast just happens to be just one of several topics being discussed there, it kind of gets diffused, and then it kind of like doesn't give them a chance to be as abrasive, but then again, in my case, it was still, I definitely sensed the lack of support. Actually, the only person that was like supportive was like my brother's wife. She was the only one that didn't like poke any jabs at me or tried to offer me food or any of that stuff. She was just like, I respect that you've made a decision about something and you're doing it, and I respect that, and I want to, like try to, get you off track or whatever. So, and I appreciated that, but I can't say the same for anyone else at the table. Everyone else at the table immediately went into, like, come on, eat this food, hear this, kept passing food in front of me, sitting to, every time a dish came from the waiter, they, a lot of times they'd make sure to set it down in front of me first, are you sure you don't want one? Come on, just, well, what's, and then even down like a celery, here's a celery stick. So, but at the same time, it was a good test of my will, it's like, that was a good, I got through that experience and managed to make it enjoyable. And I would say in terms of like the point at which you go in the desire that your hunger response is pretty much diminished. I would say I'm at that stage now, on day 6, that I'm starting to enter that, gradually starting to get almost not having an emotional type of urge, trigger response of like, oh, that looks delicious, I gotta eat it. It's like, oh, that looks delicious, but it's like an abstraction now. It doesn't, or it just looks like it's just some other object. Food is now looking like it's just some other object, it's like, okay, that's nice, and that's all it is. It doesn't like, oh, this means I got to eat it. Now it's like, this means it's an interesting texture and shape and design, so that's kind of where it was at. So I think that you should probably, if you're running into situations where you may end up having to be in a gathering with other people that are going to be consuming food, friends, family, and most likely you're going to have several people that are not going to understand and are going to tempt you, make every effort to tempt you to eat. You should probably wait until you've at least broken through to that you don't have any hunger left sense. Which in, my case, it's, like I said, I don't think that really fully kicks in until probably day 5. At least, well, in my case, that's what it was like, the hardest days were day 1 and 2. 3 was a little easier, but it was still the hunger, the desire to eat was, the potential for the desire to eat was there if temptations were then placed directly in front of me. But so long as I had the absence of those temptations, then I wasn't too excited about food, but now fast forward to day 6. Now, even when those food items are placed in front of me, it's not triggering a temptation response, like a physiological temptation response. It's kind of like, I just see it and I go, oh, okay, whatever, so that's pretty exciting to see that, to finally like feel like it's like kind of regaining control. It's a sense of regaining, it's a self-control, but regaining over your impulses, your uncontrolled impulses. So I was really happy about that. And so, yeah, I basically was just like, yep, doing water. I'm just drinking water, so, they kept poking at me throughout the evening, but I think by the end, some were like left kind of either perplexed or somewhat intrigued. Yeah, I would say intrigued, slightly intrigued. That was probably the best response I got, for one person tonight. And, there weren't anybody in the audience that was just like, at our table that, none of my family was just like, oh yeah, I would like to try that. Let me check that out. It's like, so that's the other thing. Is like, you got to make sure if you're doing this, you're doing it for yourself. You're not trying to like impress somebody or like try to get them to do it too. And all we're going to do this together or something. I think that's just a losing strategy, So it needs to just be like, it's your own personal conviction. It's your own personal discipline. It's your own habit, your own personal physiological, spiritual journey, that's yours alone. And then if someone just happens to get inspired by it, great. If absolutely nobody's inspired by it, doesn't matter. All that matters is that you're inspiring yourself. So, yeah, that's what I want to share that. But yeah, let's see what else. So yeah, it's been a long day. Long day of driving a lot of driving around, and the pain I'm noticing it feels like it's definitely has subsided now. It's gone from a 4 back down to a 2-ish, 2, maybe 3 at times, but kind of just me not moving it much. It's definitely back down to a 2. So, so that's good. Let's see what else. I think that's, my energy, in terms of my energy level, I'd say my energy level has definitely throughout the day is definitely feeling like it's kind of remained in a pretty steady state, a pretty steady level of energy throughout the day, which I know I had before doing this fast. There was definitely times where I have a ramp up spike in energy, and then kind of occasional lulls in energy, and then back up, and then just kind of steady again and all that. Whereas now it feels like it's been basically just this steady energy throughout the whole day. So that's definitely good indication that I'm definitely operating purely off my fat reserves. So and also I'm noticing it's starting to become more apparent that my thinking and my noticing things and mental clarity, definitely there's a sharpening that's occurring right now, because as things are getting purified, the mind, the brain, as it's getting purified, it just starts working better, more efficiently. So I'm definitely noticing today more so than any other day, which, like I said, for the first for the first few days, the first 4 or 5 days, 4 days at least, I didn't notice really any change in my mental sharpness. I mean, if anything, it just, dizziness at times and stuff. But now it's now gone from moments of dizziness to sharper thinking. Like I didn't feel dizzy or like having a spout of exhaustion. I don't recall having even a single one of those episodes today, which is definitely a stark contrast from the previous couple of days, so that's really good. I'm definitely going to attempt to work tomorrow. It's actually really later. It's well after midnight, so I know it's day 6, but I'm technically going into day 7 right now. So the plan is to attempt to do some light work tomorrow. I think based on what has happened so far, I think it seems like it's definitely manageable. Most of it's relatively light kind of work, stuff that I mostly can get by using just one arm. So, and also, stuff that shouldn't get exacerbated by, because I'm going without, living on no food right now. So, so let's see, anything else? Oh, well, the one thing that really kind of like further cemented my conviction for pursuing this is that I read actually, maybe I'll stick that on the next video. But so in the next video, I'll mention about an article. I want to actually have it all in front of me when I do it, and then I'll add the link in the next video with all of that, the article that talks about the details for another study that they did, long-term fasting, and I was like, holy crap, like, okay, well, this is definitely it for me. Finally found some other writings about how the long-term water fasting actually definitely accelerates the healing of bones. Because there's a lot of people keep believing it's like, man, if you're going to heal bones, you have to have new nutrition. You got to be consuming new stuff if you're going to heal the bones. Like, how else are they going to heal? They're not going to heal if you don't do that. If you go on a fast with broken bones, then they're not going to heal because they don't have new nutrition. So that's, again, that's one of the reasons why I did this fast, was to prove that yes, bones can heal, and they'll heal faster and better while on a full water fast. And that's my hypothesis, and I've definitely now read some more articles that seem to corroborate that. But now I'm gonna test it on I'm testing it on myself, my own guinea pig. So I'm like, worst case scenario, break the fast and just, gonna be consuming lots of bone broth and stuff, and the body will find a way to just reinforce the bones and all that stuff. And I'm just thinking it'll be, I trust that it'll all just work out. So so that's it for tonight. On to day 7. So tomorrow will officially be 1 week of water fasting. That's another big milestone. And I was talking again, like I'm starting to reevaluate, thinking, maybe I should go for 30 days. I mean, right now 20 is the minimum, but I may push it to 30. But it's too early to tell. You know, if anything, you don't know exactly what your limit is until you hit it, especially with this water fasting. Like, you have every intention to go in a certain amount of days, and then all of a sudden your body like sets off some alarm bells going, oh, it's time to break the fast. You know, and then, you know, and it's prudent to heed those alarm bells and not keep pushing it past that, you know. So yeah, you know, so you know, I would love it to, you know, so 20 I think is very realistic. 30 is possible. 40 would probably be extreme, a little extreme, but in the realm of possibility as well. So, but in any case, as long as this fast is going, I'm just going to keep recording these videos and document this this journey. All right. Okay. Till the next one. Bye.